Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Logo Files. If this is your first time watching, this is where I, your humble host, will take one specific logo and give you my own thoughts and opinions. Now, today, we've got a big one. We've got a right old good one. We've got probably the most very famous logo of all that I know. Yes, I've had to dig deep for this logo. And boy, we are going to explore every little nook and cranny it has. And boy, if you lived in the UK, more specifically in London during the 1960s to 1990s, wow, you'll probably remember this one. But only if you watched Channel 3 or ITV at the weekdays. So without further ado, let's get on with this logo. It is the one, the only, the legendary Thames Television! Vision. Yeah, Thames Television. Ba 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 ba! So where do we begin with this really legendary company and its more iconic logo? Well, let's start with what we see as the main on-screen ident. Now, at the beginning, we have this cloudy background. It's the sky. What else could it be? Now, you'll notice you can see in the very center of the screen, you can see a little line. I'll go on to that in a bit. So as we sort of pan down from the sky, we see the skyline of London flying or rather fading in or whatever they do. And you'll notice some very iconic landmarks already. St. Paul's Cathedral, Tower Bridge, the BT Tower, there's Big Ben, there's loads of stuff. And we have the word Thames in a very distinct font. But now, if we look at the bottom of the screen, it's also in the reflection. And then, of course, the reflection fades to reveal just the word Thames at the top. Now, if you notice, we're now going on to the reflection here, that the reflection seems a bit misty, a bit wobbly. That's because it's supposed to be from the river. It's as if we are looking at this logo from the river itself. Yeah, it's as if the camera is placed on the river and we're looking at the logo from the view of the river, hence the wobbly reflection. But why do they make it like this? Well, according to a very old episode of the British TV series How Did They Do It, they had a mirror. Yeah, it's all done with mirrors. So that's what gives it the reflection. They sort of held a mirror at that point. It's like a mirror. Just a basic, bog standard mirror. Just held there while they sort of pull up on the card. Yes, the Thames logo is just a card. And how they made the bottom reflection fade away, they just used a computer. I mean, come on, this specific ident came out in the early 70s when colour was being introduced to London. So, in all honesty, this logo really does show off some of the 70s technology here. We've got mirrors, we've got the pulling animation of the skyline, a wobbly reflection in the river, the quote-unquote river, and the fading of the bottom text. Pretty substandard for the 70s. Where would Thames be without its iconic fanfare? Those glorious 8 notes are a clarion call to all sorts of great programmes. Now, let us take a deep dive into this very British fanfare. Now, the Thames fanfare mostly consists of 8 notes on brass. These notes are ba 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 ba. But you'll notice that ba, that 8th note right there, ba, is held. Now I know this episode is just focusing on the 70s logo, but there is another variant of this jingle which is a little bit different. For that, we have to go all the way to 1989, the year of Thames's 21st birthday, when they played a specialised version of this fanfare, and it is actually in a different key. Here, Have a listen. Here's the original version. And here's the 1989 version. Yeah, so you'll notice the two different versions are in two different keys, but also because they're supposed to be two different, reasons for this, because, the 70s version is, the bog standard version you'd normally see, and then the 1989 version was the 21st anniversary of Thames, so they had to make it special, thus recreating the original jingle with a lot more flair. Beyond that, at the end it had that ba-da-dum-bum-bum-ba, because they wanted to add more to it, because that ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba is a lot more bog standard, so they had the da-dun-dun-dun-dun to make it more flamboyant. So now, let me ask you a really big question, Mr. Editor. How long do you think this Thames logo was in use for? Nope, not even close. I'll give you one more guess. Still not even close at all. I'll tell you. This logo was in use for the length of time from 1969 to 1990. Yeah, I know, right? This logo has remained exactly the same for 21 years. I mean, no wonder it's become so popular. And there you have it. A look at the most legendary of British TV companies, Thames Television. And, well, it was quite a legendary logo. It was truly a company that was really ahead of its time. From so many legendary programs, Minder, and The Sweeney, The Morecambe and Wise Show, to loads of iconic children's programs like The Sooty Show and Rainbow. Thames is just this company that left an incredible landmark on British television in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s as well. And so that brings us to the end of the 5th episode of the Logo Files. We really hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we hope that you will join us next week. So if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to give us a like. And also, click the subscribe button if you want to be, notified when we upload new episodes. And, of course, you can now watch this episode and all the previous episodes of Series 1 in our Series 1 playlist. And so, until next week, this case is closed. And so, we shall leave you in the words of Matthew Corwett. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.